We have show directors Patrick Willard and Mike Aiello, and then PJ Manarina, who is the director of art and design. So they'll take it away.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, guys.
Hey, hello.
Hey. Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Hey.
How does this year's event compare to past years in terms of gore and scare factor? Are we talking a greater intensity, or is it going to be, a little bit of comedy mixed in?
Yes. We always want this event to be as intense as we possibly can make it, and we're always trying to grow that year after year. And that is what's going to happen this year. These houses, there are some that are insanely intense. There are other houses, as we've kind of formed a tradition in the past, where there is one particular house that kind of has a more comedic tone to it. We really like at least 1 out of the 8 houses to kind of have that tone. It's been successful for us in the past. To kind of have that Shaun of the Dead type flair, something that's very self-aware. For me, I've been doing Bill and Ted for a long time. I'm very much a lover of comedy, but I also love that line that some horror films walk, that there is a kind of a definite line between the horror and the comedy. And the one thing that's always ranged true when you're going to a horror film, especially with a group of people or your friends, when you do get scared, a laugh is usually immediately followed by it. So in that vein, we do have one house this year that kind of has that tone.
But it's not the house you're thinking of.
Well, you can't say which one.
I'm not going to say which one, but it's not the one you're thinking of. If you think traditionally along the lines of all the houses that we've done, especially the sequel houses, I'll give you that hint, especially the sequel houses, traditionally those sequel houses, depending on what they are, you see a different flair every single year. We're changing that up this year. And in some ways we're saying goodbye in a lot of ways to some of these houses, at least for a couple of years. We may end up coming back to them in the future, but at least for a few years, some of these houses you won't see again for a while.
Okay.
Could you talk a little bit about the creation of the iconic character Fear? What went into creating that one?
Absolutely. Again, in going into this year, because it is the 20th year of Horror Nights, and that is a big deal. The fact that Universal Orlando has been doing this for 20 years successfully is nothing to bat an eye at. We totally recognize that. So when we were coming up with some of the attractions we wanted to do this year, and some of the houses we wanted to pay homage to, and some of the houses that we were going to do that were brand new, we wanted a character that would seem all-encompassing. Something that you could visually look at, and it could stand among the other icons we've created, like Jack and Caretaker and Direct. This character could stand among them, almost stand above them, and visually there is some sort of control there, not only with the event itself, but possibly with those icons. And I don't want to go too much into this today, but that kind of gives you an idea of the inception or the conception of Fear himself.
I'll throw one thing in. Also, when we sat down and looked at this, a big goal of ours was to realize is to pay homage to the past 20 years, is to really show where we've been, as Mike has said. And the one thing that did resonate with us is that the one thing, since we change everything every year and characters and environments are new, one thing has been consistent, and that has been fear. Fear has always been here. Fear is what we create every year, and fear has been an element in whatever character environment we create. So for us, fear became basically our character that is going to become to life this year. We bring fear to reality every year. This is our opportunity to bring it now to the guest of Halloween Horror Nights.
Absolutely.
In relation to, what are some of your favorite, characters from the past that, fans can expect to see this year?
Oh, wow. Well, like I said, there are 2 major attractions. We've got a house that is going to pay homage to our past, as well as a street zone, a scare zone that will pay homage to our past. And we really kind of ran the gamut from even year 1 all the way to last year, trying to pick out the best characters that would represent 20 years of the event. So obviously you're gonna see characters like the Body Collectors. You're gonna see some of our favorites that have been in a couple years, Treeks and Foons.
But the street zone and the houses, they're not synonymous with one another. The house will have, that it's going to pay homage to, it'll actually have characters from the streets as well as the houses, and the street zone will have characters from the houses as well as the streets. So you'll have a nice mix of both of those elements being in both locations.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's some of our favorite characters. It was really cool when we were kind of creating those experiences to just write on an ink board every single character that we loved, the ones that we've created, that while we've been here with the event, and even the ones before then. Because I know, speaking for myself, I came here as a fan. For years 91 to 95, I came with my father. It was a yearly tradition for he and I to come to this event every year, and to be able to then to create those characters has been a dream come true. But going all the way back to even those characters from the first years,
this call is being recorded.
What's that? Oh, sorry. To go back and actually write all them out and actually hand pick our favorites, that was a problem.
It was a great day.
Yeah, it was.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet.
And the thing is that about anything with this event, from day one, when we're sitting in that room, with that ink board and a blank piece of paper, it always goes back to the fact is, what would we want to see if we were a fan coming here? It's never at that point about, what do we have to do logistically? What's popular movie-wise right now? It always starts in a very real and personal place for us to be able to look at, we as horror fans and say, what scares the crap out of us? What character would look the coolest to us? Because there's enough of us here that work on this event. It starts in a very small group, but then becomes hundreds of people that all have a passion for Halloween and really want to present the very best event we can possibly do. And we pour our every being into that. And it all starts in a very real and personal place that is what we want to see if we came here.